Hello, my name is Vega Goose, and welcome to our next review. Today we're talking about Tales of Xillia. Now, Tales of Xillia is from the Tales of series. Now, it kind of goes without saying, but in this game they added a lot of innovation to the series that hasn't been seen before. In fact, they recently re-released Tales of Symphonia 1 and 2 and added some of the innovation from this game to that. But let's get on beat on the bush, let's get right into it. Now, gameplay-wise, it's pretty much the same as the rest of the Tales of series. On the main map, you run into a monster, and this begins a battle screen. However, unlike, say, turn-based games like the old Final Fantasy games, in this case you still have full motion of your character. And each button you hit, the attack button forward doesn't move, back doesn't move, down, up. So it gives you 4 separate attacks with your attack button, plus you have your special moves. This has a lot of range in combat, and in fact can allow you to make combinations with other party members as you see fit. This game also introduces the idea of a super move, in a sense, where you hit a move with your partner and then hit a secondary move. This does a ton of damage, and the animation looks pretty cool as well.
All beginning once again. Let it be by my hand. Elemental mastery. Strike. Final fury.
Bam! Spin! You ready for this? Celestial celebration! Alright!
Open your eyes and witness your final demise! Terminus Prime!
During battle, you also can pause the game at any time pressing the start button. This will bring you into a sort of a mini menu where you can choose different spells to put on your character, different items to use, and etc. Overall, I think the gameplay it's simple, and yet it's hard at the same time. In other words, it's very simple for anyone to just jump right in, but to master it takes a while between dodges, blocks, different attacks, air juggles, and things of this nature. You're going to be playing it a while before you feel like you've actually gotten really good at it. Now, that's not a bad thing. I enjoy games that have a bit of a challenge to them, and yet will still allow the non-hardcore gamer to jump right into it. Now, another thing about the Tales of series is they have things called skits. This is where you're walking on the main map. You'll see on the right corner, or the left corner, depending on what type of skit it is, it'll tell you to press a button. When you press that button, it starts up the skit. Now, in each skit, you see 4 pictures, or however many pictures of people who are talking of your characters. Now, up until this game, they have not been voice acted, so you've had to read along. In this game, they're all fully voice acted and quite funny, considering. Now, it would have been a little better to have seen cutscenes, I'll grant you. However, for what they are, I think they work quite well. Along with that, during gameplay, you'll sometimes switch to an animated cutscene. These, you can tell, are clearly done in a very anime style. And while they're not exactly Miyazaki levels, they are still pretty well animated, and they do look great. Now let's get into the story. In this game you have, for the first time in the series, you have 2 protagonists. Now, while they do travel together for much of the game, each one goes on their own path throughout the story. Now, the first person who I played as is Jude Mathis. Now, Jude Mathis' story begins, he's a medical student who's just received his doctorate. Meaning, basically, he's a healer, for sake of the gameplay terms. And it starts off very simple. You're just looking for your professor who left something behind at the school. And in a series of events I'm not going to give away because honestly this game's story is really, really good. But through a series of events, he winds up getting into a much, much larger story. That's when our secondary protagonist, Mila Maxwell, comes in. Now, Mila Maxwell tells Jude that she is the embodiment of God, as she is the embodiment of this world's God, and is in fact going on an adventure to destroy something called Spirits. Now, Spyrix, as they tell us at the start of this game, is something that allows someone to use unlimited magic. However, it comes at the cost of destroying spirits. This is why Maxwell, Lord of Spirits, wants it destroyed. And this is essentially the adventure you're going on. Jude and Mila, along with your other teammates, go and destroy these Spyrexes. And it's the adventure you have on this journey. Now, what I really do like about the character of Mila Maxwell is that, as you can see, she does fall into the fan service category, as she's a very scantily clad, large-chested woman. However, I like the fact they kind of turn that on its ear by having her make fun of that fact. We find out she was able to choose her form when she created it, and she even says she created this to distract 50% of the population. So in so doing, the game gets its fan servicey character, and yet is able to kind of make fun of it at the same time. I found that quite humorous myself. Overall, I'm going to tell you, this game is a lot of fun. However, I don't want to give away much of the story because the twists and turns this story takes, you will really be surprised by some of them. Now, yeah, there are a few twists that you see coming a mile away, but that doesn't happen often. Overall, I would say Tales of Xillia is well worth your money, and personally, I cannot wait until July when Tales of Xillia 2 comes out. Until next review, my name is Vega Goose saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.